Birdman.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. These morning shows are it's a change. It's a different. There's a difference.
It's a wake up call. Yeah.
It's a wake up call. Kenny
Yes,
B here. Kenny
indeed.
B with the official call with his co-host, the Birdman, Robert Bird. How was your weekend, this brother? I know you
Yeah.
went to the game, the UNLV game, because we talked
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
an exciting game
Oh,
that was.
man. Whoa, let me tell you, up and down and up and down. But the good part is the last up was us.
Exactly. And I said to my
The
wife, I
last
said,
up with us. That
whoever has
team,
the
6-0, 6-0 start.
6-0, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I said to my wife, sorry, I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
we was going into the right after halftime. I said, whoever has the ball last is going to end up winning this game because at the start of the
Yeah.
third quarter, within less than almost 2 minutes, the Rebels scored twice. And that's
Yep.
how it just teeter-tottered back and forth, back and forth. But
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah. Yeah.
the team that had the ball last didn't win because Air Force kicked a field goal with no seconds left on the clock, and the field goal kicker, God bless him, he missed it,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah. Yeah.
allowed the Rebels to come out on top.
Yeah, well, that's a lot like our game. Every now and then, you get a fight that's back and forth and back and forth, and we get to that
Yep,
last round, and
yep,
one or two punch difference, can really decide the fight. So, it's a wonderful
yes,
thing about sports. It's a
exactly,
real wonderful thing
exactly.
about sports. Yeah,
Yep, yep. Like ABC Wide World of Sports used to say years ago, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and I'm sure with Air Force there was some agony of that defeat because
yeah,
yeah, yeah. But anyway, we had a good a fight card which was on the zone, which I was not able to see because of my busy schedule with birthdays.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but it was a pretty good undercard. Dennis Thompson was scheduled and fought against Sean Diaz, which was a super bantamweights. Let's talk about that fight first, uh, if we may. Uh, very highly competitive. Uh, both fighters came out and just duked it out from the very first round. Uh, very well, good job done by the referee.
hmm
Uh, there was one moment, Bird, I don't know if you caught it, where Diaz had Thompson in kind of a headlock and
yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and just kind of overextended by holding him, which
hmm
caused Thompson to get a little upset, and he pushed him off.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
being that I only saw the replay, it did not show how the referee admonished either fighter, one for holding the headlock and the other Thompson pushing. But do you remember? Did you catch that?
Actually, what he did was it was like a momentary stoppage, and basically you couldn't hear what he was saying, but
Okay,
he did say to basically say to him, "I'm thinking, don't do that," you
right,
know. Uh,
exactly.
but but it was not he didn't overreact to it. He
Okay,
took care of
good,
it, but he didn't overreact, which is
good,
good,
good.
which was a good
Yes,
thing. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that
Well,
fight. Go ahead, Bird.
yeah, well, yeah, Thompson, the quiet storm they call him.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Yeah, was a taller fighter
Yeah.
with the longer reach, but
Yes.
the thing that really inspired me about this fight was that you know this fight was fought mostly close range.
Yes, it was.
We just was a just this was a good old fashioned phone booth hook fest.
That's
Uh,
right.
guys, these guys were throwing lots of punches.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot of backing up at all
Yes.
by either man.
Yeah.
Thompson, I'm a little surprised because he had the advantage of height and reach, but he didn't fight tall. He
Right.
got down in the trenches with
Yes.
Diaz, and
Yes.
but I think even if he wanted to fight from a distance, Diaz wasn't going to let him. The pressure that he
Yeah.
was putting on him. But
Yes.
in the end, it didn't matter anyway. But both of them showed me a great chin. It
Yes.
was surprising that neither one of them went down in this fight
Yes.
because I mean from they were throwing.
They were throwing.
Like I said, yeah, wasn't a lot of backing up.
Wasn't a lot of backing up. They were both coming forward, and like you said, what we described back in the day, haymakers. They were
Yes,
throwing haymakers.
yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
what they were doing. There were no questions asked. Uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Thompson did end up winning the fight on a close split decision.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that there tells you just how competitive that fight was.
yeah. Well, anybody watching the fight would have to agree that this fight was very public. What am I trying to say? It This is a fight that the public would have enjoyed because
Yes,
these guys came to fight. They didn't
yes,
come to dance around. They came to
yes,
fight, and that's
yes,
really what the public wants to see. And there's a clamor out there that that's what's happening, and
yeah,
especially this is especially important, Kenny, because this fight happened in the United States of America, and
yes,
there's a move out there that there's not a whole lot of competitive fights being fought in America because the guys don't want to fight each other. And so
yeah,
what's happening is a lot of fights are going outside of the United
yeah,
States. But
yeah.
fights like this can change all that.
It can change it all. And I used to say to people years ago when Mike Tyson was coming up, and when he became world champion, and people used to get upset back then because Mike Tyson was taking them out in a round or two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And they say, "Oh, I just got up to go get a drink or go to the bathroom. When I got back, the fight was over."
yeah. Well,
And but that's the way it was when Mike Tyson fought.
that's
And I
right.
used to say to people, "Look, if you went to a football game, would you get there at the fourth quarter?
Yeah,
No, no, you wouldn't. You
yeah,
get there and make sure you can see kickoff."
right. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
in boxing, which is an individual sport,
Hmm.
sometimes the undercard could match up. The matchups could be better than the main event.
And it happens a lot too.
Yeah,
It
and
happens
it
a
could
lot.
happen, and it happens a lot. So,
Yeah.
in a fight like Diaz and Thompson, where they both were coming forward, neither one of them was backing up. You
Hmm.
got the kind of fight that you would enjoy because
Yeah.
they didn't hold back nothing. They left it in the ring,
Yeah.
and yeah, I thought for the rounds that I saw, because the one round that I did see where it appeared to me that Thompson was scoring more frequently
Hmm.
than Diaz. So
Hmm.
with that being said, the split decision going to Thompson, I had no issues with. I mean, I had to take it the way it turned out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't either. And a split decision wasn't a bad decision for me because, like I
Hmm.
said, this was just an old fashioned phone booth hook fest. Them boys,
Yes.
them boys wasn't backing up. They wasn't trying to dodge nobody. They were coming after each other, and
Yeah.
that's a wonderful thing for the viewing public. You know,
Yes.
And sometimes it's a wonderful thing for the fighters because it's not like I gotta look for you.
Yeah.
You're right in front of
Exactly.
me. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So that the next fight that took place on that fight card was Tamil or Tamir Small versus Jesse Roman,
Ah,
and
yeah.
that fight. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I'll let you start on this one. I'll let you start on this one.
Well, again, what you had was that dynamic, tall guy, short guy. Okay,
Yes,
and I know that even back in my day, uh, and when I was fighting, and there was a tall guy and I was a short guy. The question always in that dynamic is, can you chop that tree down? Can
right,
that short guy chop that tree down? You know,
right,
uh,
right.
uh, and so that's always the dynamic when you have that. But Small, the shorter man, in this fight, whoo, he was
Yes,
chopping on that tree. I mean, that's
yes,
all I gotta say. He was chopping
yes,
on that tree. I mean, he scored a knockdown in the third
yes,
round with a
yes,
right left combo. Woo,
yes,
that was picturesque. You hear me?
yes,
I'm
yes,
telling you, man. Uh, 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 Using constant pressure, he wouldn't let Roman use his height and reach. Okay,
right,
and so that's what we talk about when we say styles make fights. That's what we talk about. You know?
right, right. And
Yeah.
and when we talk about styles, we can go back into history. We can go back to the '60s and '70s and '80s, and fighters back then had that animalistic come out and throw and kind of like a Joe Frazier style. That's
Mm-hmm.
why he got the name he got, Smoking Joe Frazier,
Yeah.
because he came out willing to throw at all costs.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
may get tapped here and may get tapped there, but that made no difference to him. He figured that
Well,
if he
and
could land his, that would make the difference on his side of the fence.
right. Yeah. And the bottom line is and everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people when they see a small guy, the big guy, they're gonna root for the little guy. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? They're gonna root for the
yes,
little guy, and
yes,
it's a wonderful feeling. I know I felt it when I was fighting, and I
yep,
had a tall guy that basically didn't respect me a lot.
right,
It was just wonderful feeling to go in there and chop that tree down. You know
right,
what I'm saying? That was
exactly.
that was a wonderful thing. And there was a comment about this fight. Somebody commented that Roman, the tall guy, was just running. He was just
Yeah,
running, and I don't agree with that because I watched this fight, and I don't know. He was trying to use a lot of lateral movement to
hmm,
to offset Small's aggression, but he wasn't
yeah.
running. He
He
wasn't
wasn't
running.
running.
Okay,
No,
and that's something that people, all you fans out there, when you watch a fight, you understand there's a difference between someone who's just running and someone who's using lateral movement as a tactic to offset the aggression from another fighter.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's almost kind of like, and I have had to do the same thing, Bird, in explaining to people. It's like a chess match.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing chess. You have to think 2 or 3 moves ahead of time before you
Mm-hmm.
even get there.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you're dealing in the ring with an opponent, you, he may do something through a certain combination in the first round, and you got to take that, process it, and may counter it if he chooses to do it again,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 or 3 rounds later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you've processed it, so it's more like a chess match that you're dealing with as far as your opponent than uh, uh, running like fans often think fighters are doing.
Yeah, 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 it's styles do make fights,
Yeah,
and what you've got to do as a fighter is ensure that your style is going to help you to be successful in the fight.
yeah,
And I think we've seen that in a lot. And there was a comment that came up that fight is not the same as it was back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90,000. And that's
right.
very true. But those guys back there, they they were fighters. And I'm not really
Yes,
knocking the guys of today, but these guys
yeah,
back in the day, the
yeah,
Sugar Ray Robinsons coming all
yes,
the way up to the Sugar Ray Leonards, all the way up to
yeah,
the Marvin Haglers and the Tommy
yes,
Hearns, and these
yes,
guys, they fought, they
yes,
fought, and
yeah,
they wanted to fight whoever out there thought that they were better than they were.
yes.
That's who they wanted to fight.
That's who they
And
wanted to fight.
and fortunately, back in the day, the promoters, for the most part, they made those fights. They
Yeah,
made those fights. They let you say, okay, we're gonna put Hagler and Hearns in there together. We're gonna
right.
put Ray Leonard in there and Hagler in there. And we're gonna put Ray Leonard and Hearns in there because
Yes,
and that whole group back then,
yes,
they fought each other, and that's what seemed to be lacking today.
yeah. Well, you
It seems to
you
be lacking.
you mentioned which I happened to be at that fight uh, when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns,
Mm-hmm.
and the for Sugar Ray Leonard it was more of a chess match because he knew what Tommy Hearns was bringing. He
Yeah.
had the right hand knockout,
Mm-hmm.
and if he hit you with it, he would knock you out. But the, in that fight, it showed me something because with Sugar Ray Leonard's chess match movement, he was able to catch Tommy Hearns with it was kind of like an uppercut, but it hurt Tommy to the point that then Tommy had to change his game plan,
Yes, he
and
did.
instead of him being the stalker trying
Mm-hmm.
to, land the big right hand, he had to get on his bicycle in a sense
Yeah, he
and
did.
move and use the jab and keep Sugar Ray Leonard off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what made that fight so made it for what it was because uh, no one expected that that Tommy Hearns would become
Become
a
a boxer.
boxer.
Yeah.
Yes, and Sugar Ray Leonard would
Yeah.
be a stalker. Would be the
Yeah.
stalker
Yeah.
coming at you.
Yeah. And
So
the dynamic in that fight was the same because Tommy was 6'1", Ray about 5'9", so you had the
yes,
tall, short thing.
yes,
But
yes,
the bottom line, and I'm glad you brought that fight up because the bottom line is in that fight, what it really came down to was, do I have the heart to go after this man who is beating me?
yes,
And that's what has to happen within that fight.
yes,
You have to believe I can, no matter what's happened up to this point, I've got to go after this guy and end this,
yes,
and
exactly.
that's what Ray did.
And
He
that's what
caught
he
him,
did.
and turned the whole fight around. Okay.
Turned around, and Davy Pearl was the referee for that fight, and uh, Davy did a fantastic job
Mm-hmm.
when he uh, the term that we often don't use that often is a fighter being out on his feet.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Tommy Hearns was at the point to where he fought gallantly. He did the very, very best that he could do. But at that point in time in the fight, he was out on his feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was out on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And you talk about the the want to, the want to sometimes doesn't add up to can I? You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
If
Yes.
Tommy had his druthers, he would have wanted to go more. He would have wanted to go down. He would have wanted to,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
But we, as referees, we
That's right.
have a responsibility. Again, to
Yes.
all you fans out there, yes, it's a brutal sport. It's a
Yep.
sweet sport. It's a damaged sport. But
Yep.
we as referees, and that's what this show is really all about,
Yes.
to bring you into the ring with us as officials. Look at this fight not as a fan, but look at it through the eyes of an official. And when you do that, what you understand is that, yes, fighters are warriors, but
Yes.
warriors need sometimes those who help them to become warriors another day.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And because the big and the main thing is um, when there is a second fight and when there is a third fight, that just adds more to the history of those individual fighters fighting a second time and possibly a third time.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in the day, when you mentioned Sugar Ray Robinson, Chuck, there are some fighters that he fought 5 or 6 times
Yeah.
because that's how often they would fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, we we know that it's entertainment, and it is entertainment.
Yeah.
But on
Yeah.
the same end, there's a lot that adds to that entertainment as far as those fighters' legacy and everything that they're putting out on the line when they step through those ropes
Mm-hmm.
and get in that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a comment that came up on the screen saying that they thought that the Ellis Lima fight was for the IBO
Ennis.
title, but what he got was the WBA interim title.
Yes.
And I think that when they announced the fight, what they announced was that it was for the WBA, the
Yeah.
WBA fight. So I don't know if the IBO uh, also was awarded that night, as opposed to the WBA. But the WBA, basically what they're saying is that the WBA title was the main title that
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, you're right. They announced it as the WBA North American welterweight title,
Mhm. Yeah.
and yeah, a lot of people, a lot of fans are always trying to figure out why there's so many titles, but they're
Yeah.
trying to bring these fighters up correctly so that when that big match does happen, that it's going to be a competitive fight,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
that's
you
what
know
we
what?
look for.
That's right. And you know what, fighters, fans out there, you can call in now. The number and the link to join the show is in the description below. And we are waiting to hear from you.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
So
yeah. Now, the fight for me that stood out was that heavyweight fight. Man,
I knew you
you
was
know.
bringing it. I knew you was gonna bring it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Vianello and
Yes.
I can't pronounce the other guy's name. The Canadian,
Bar-
uh, uh,
let's
Barry,
bury us.
yeah,
Bury us.
Barrios,
Bury us. Yeah.
Canadian guy. Canada versus Italy, and
Right.
I remember Vianello because he fought here in and he fought Ajabi. Ajabi.
Okay.
And matter of fact, he talked about the fact that in that fight, uh, he didn't put up his best effort against
Hmm.
Ajabi, and he had to go back and do a lot of soul searching of
Right.
himself, and
Right.
he had done that, and that's what he brought to this fight. Well,
Yeah.
it was very good. It was a very good fight
Yeah.
from the start. The Canadian guy was throwing combination, had good footwork.
Yeah.
He was moving the way that a southpaw should move when he's fighting an orthodox in the first 3 rounds. He was doing good. He was looking
Yeah.
good. But in that fourth round,
That fourth round.
let me tell
Yeah.
you,
You got touched.
uh, Vidal was the bigger, for me, looking at it, he was the bigger, stronger man. But
Yeah.
in the first 3 rounds, Bernie wasn't allowing him to utilize that strength and that
That
power.
strength and that
But
power in that side.
yeah, but that around that fourth round, he turned the tables. The
Yeah.
big man turned the tables in that fourth round, and he started hitting him with some big shots. Ooh, Lord. And put him down for the first time. First
Yes.
time in the
First.
Canadians' professional career. It's the first time he had been down, and that was just an omen of what was to come,
Right.
because it was downhill from that point forward.
It was downhill from that point forward, and for me, I'm always interested to see how a fighter handles their first knockdown,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not something that you can teach in sparring.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you don't want your sparring matches to be that hard. I mean, you want to go to your sparring sessions with the person you're sparring with to emulate what your opponent does, so you can condition the body
Mm-hmm.
and the mind, so that when you fight them uh, uh, in, in the ring, you're prepared. Just like
Yeah.
in any sport, you
Mm-hmm.
figure out what your opponent is doing. You train to know exactly what's coming at you, so that you're prepared when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, this fight, like you said, uh, when a fighter goes down for the first time, that's where I'm always interested in seeing how well. And he got up and looked like he took the
Mm-hmm.
punch just well, but you can still see, uh, at least we know, that he wasn't 100%
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
got up. He
Yeah.
wasn't 100%, and he didn't get up and stagger around or do any of that. But he was not 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part of that first knockdown was that it was close and at the end of the round.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was able to survive the round. So
Mm-hmm.
what does the referee do? When that bell rings, we keep our focus on the fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'll walk back with him as he's going to his corner, to continue to keep an eye on him
Mm-hmm.
and see what kind of condition he's in.
Yeah.
And by the time you get back to his corner, the doctor usually, or at least I know in the state of Nevada, our doctors would have been climbing them stairs to
Mm-hmm.
get up there to take a look at him,
Yeah.
to see if it's worth him continuing because of being knocked down. Well,
Mm-hmm.
in that fight, apparently the doctors felt that he was capable of continuing, but then it was in the very next
Mm-hmm.
round.
Right. Yeah.
He got hit and went down, and at that point, the the, the referee had to stop it, which was rightly justified.
Right. And the thing about it is, like you said, it's it's one thing you train for the fight, and you always train to win.
Yeah,
But what happens when what you plan isn't working out the way you planned it? That's
exactly.
when you find out what you're made of,
Yes,
because nobody plans to get rocked and knocked and
yes,
you don't plan that. So
Right.
how do you handle adversity? It's
Exactly.
like, the way I
Exactly.
used to, the way I like to talk about it is, you know, everybody can be a sailor on a calm sea. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can sail a boat when the
That's
water's calm,
yes.
but what are you going to do? How would you handle it when there's some waves and there's some
That's right.
wind and there's a storm coming? Now,
That's right.
how are you going to steer this ship through
That's
all of
right.
that?
That's
That's
right.
when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out if
That's
you're a
right.
true sailor, And
Yes.
so
Yes.
that's sort of the same thing in boxing. I like to use that
Yeah.
analogy in boxing. You know, everything's great. Everything is great when that water is calm. But when that water, ooh Lord, let me tell you. And it looks like we have a comment that says a lot of boxing coaches that if you get knocked down, take your 8 count, get up and go to the opponent and throw at least 20 punches if you can. And I think what she's really saying is, what this comment, this person is really saying is that when you get knocked down, when you get up, go after that person to let the referee know that I'm not really bad off over here. Uh, and that might be good to a
That
certain
might.
point, but sometimes if your fools rush in, as they say,
Right.
maybe if you just got knocked down, you may not want to run right back in
Rush.
there. You know,
Exactly.
you might want to, move laterally and think and clench and do all those things that help you to get your mind clear, get your face clear, get yourself back restored to what you can do. You know,
Yes.
but
Yes.
all of this is about boxer strategy. You know,
Yes. Yes. What your instincts may tell you to do once you've gone down, and where you are at the time could be two different things.
yes, and you better know the difference.
And you better know the difference. You
Yeah,
better,
yeah,
because you might be continuing to get a little too deep in that storm.
yeah, yeah,
And to
yeah.
add to what you said, Bird, we said it, I've said it many times, that um, we can let the fighters swim out to deep waters, but as a referee, we can't let them drown out there.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
we can't let them drown out there.
What I
Looks like
say,
we got
Yeah,
you
another one
must
coming in.
obey.
20
yeah.
punches with no defense.
What I
Your
say, you
coach
must
thought
obey.
you was
What I
Mayweather. I
say,
don't
you must obey.
get the gist of what he's saying.
Mhm.
Um,
What I say, you
20
must
punches with
obey.
no defense.
All right, Kenny, you on? And I think what they're saying is that if you throw three punches, 20 punches come, and there's no defense,
Oh, okay.
you know.
Right.
Uh, but what I can say is that if I'm a referee and a fighter
Let's do
takes,
this.
yeah, I'm on the air.
Yep.
If I'm the
You
referee
good?
and a fighter
Yep.
takes, and a
We got a
fighter takes,
caller. We got a caller, Bird.
yeah, okay, you're on the
How
line,
y'all doing? It's Job Primo calling again.
Oh,
okay.
We spoke a couple of weeks ago, last Monday. I think I heard Bernard Hopkins call the man twin, so I'll keep it at that. Uh, so
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah. So, what's your question, partner?
it's not really a question. I just wanted to chime in, and so I heard earlier when I had tapped in about the Boots Ennis fight and whatnot. And I think all fighters need guys like that on their resume before they step it up. And with the heavyweight fight, the co-main event, um, I think I can't pronounce the name either. The Gladiator, he kind of took it easy for a minute, or maybe he was getting outboxed, and then like fourth round, he just really stepped to the dude
Yeah,
and kind of
yeah,
like just overwhelmed him after that.
Yeah. Well, he was a bigger man. The bigger man early on, the guy, the Canadian kid, early on was boxing quite well. Excellent footwork, doing what he's supposed to do, but power sometimes will negate speed. Okay,
yes.
and I think that's probably the dynamic that happened in this fight. He was doing well when he was moving, but then he got caught. That power slowed him down, and after that, it was basically just a matter of time.
I agree. And in addition to that, I was speaking with a gentleman earlier, and he was kind of hard on the referee and stuff like that. Not with this particular fight, something else that happened. And I was saying the referee didn't punch the guy. So it's not the referee's fault if the referee does his job. When I'm in there and I'm sparring, I'm doing something, I get hit. That's not on anybody else. That's on my lack of awareness with the defense. So I got, that type of situation. That's not anybody else's fault that I got hit. So maybe my question would be towards that. How do you feel about that as professional referees?
If I understand your question right, what you're saying is something occurs that as a fighter you don't think should occur. What should the referee do? Is that correct?
Oh, well, not more so. Pardon me if I'm not being clear enough. What I'm saying as the fighter, as the boxer, they should not. I mean, they could do what they want to do. Me, from a teacher and a coach's perspective, the referee is not the one that hit you and caught you and got you off balance or woozy or whatever the situation is. Like I said last time, I teach my guys. My guys are in the Pee Wee division, 8, 9, and 10 in the amateurs. Mm-hmm. So they might not like to hear it. Yet I tell them if it ever happens, you have to take a knee or you have to clinch them before that. You have to hold them real tight. And they understand that. If they get, buzz or something like that. But it's not anybody else's fault if we had a defensive lapse.
Right.
You can't blame the referee. You can't blame, your coach on the side, the dad, or any of that stuff. It's our responsibility to protect ourselves. The referee's going to do their job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the fighter's responsibility is to protect themselves, and it's their responsibility to show the referee, and we tell them that, it's their responsibility. I say that in the dressing room. Fighter, it's your responsibility. If you're taking shots, it's your responsibility to show me, the referee, that you are willing and capable of defending yourself. If you do that, then I'll let you fight. If you don't do that, my responsibility is to protect you.
Mm-hmm. And in Bird's statement, as far as what us referees do, that's kind of being preached to them all the way up through their career. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That we're there to protect you. And the coaches should be saying the same thing to the fighters as well.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what we're there for. To make sure that the fight is clean, everyone's fighting within the rules, and your safety. Yeah. Your safety.
Understood. Yeah, it's a lot of safety counts in the amateurs. My guys are far from pro at 8, 9, and 10 years old. So we're cognizant of that as well. And it's kind of shifting the subject. To get hit with a clean shot when a person goes down, they might not be in the mind state to throw 20 punches again. The best thing to do is try to use their legs or clench the person and try to clear their head, as y'all had mentioned.
Yeah. We agree. And what we say, when we say willing and capable of defending yourself, what we're saying is show us the referee, show me that you're thinking. Okay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Front, move, clench, look at me and tell me I'm okay, rep. Do something to let me know that you are thinking. Okay?
And Mr. Bird, can I mention this? Because the person I was speaking with earlier, he had brought up the Chavez and Mildred Taylor fight, and he was saying that the referee stopped it. I was like, it's 2 seconds. I said, the thing is, the referee is talking to Taylor. Yeah, Taylor's looking at his coach. He's not looking at the referee. He's not being responsive.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. No.
The referee is trying to see if you can continue. He doesn't know. I don't know. I wouldn't think if he cared, even if he did know if it's 2 seconds on the clock or not. He want to know that you're not going to get severely damaged. I
know the fight you're talking about, and the bottom line is that you made one observation that was the most important, and that is the referee, irrespective of how much time is left in the fight. That's not what you're focused on. What you're focused on is that fighter. That fighter.
Yeah.
And if that fighter is responding to you, and in the example that you brought up, what he's saying to the fighter is, "Are you okay?" And he doesn't get a response back. And so he's looking at them. I'm looking at you saying, "Are you okay?" Look at me and let me know. You're looking off and not responding to me. If you do that, it tells me you're not here in the moment. And if you're not here in the moment, my job is to take care of you.
Right. And the other thing to add to it, the criticism that the referee Richard took was they had back in that the fight was actually at the if I'm correct at the Hilton Hotel, and they had those lights in the neutral corner that when 10 seconds hit, it would flash. And a lot of criticism that Richard took was that, oh, well, the light was flashing and that was telling him that there was 10 seconds. So what are you saying? He's supposed to just wait till the time run out and favor the fighter? No, supposed to do his job and keep an eye on the hurt fighter and make sure and look at him to see if he can continue or not. And if he can't continue, then we stop it.
It's that simple. Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to have to move on. We appreciate your call, my man. And, stay with us.
Stay with us.
Stay with us. And all you folks out there now, call in. The number and the link to join us is in the description.
In the description. And I did see a note flash by a fan wrote in reference to Ennis fighting Virgil Ortiz Jr. And Boots can fight anybody he wants to at this point in time. He has impressed me to the point that whoever he wants to step into the ring next, he can do it. Now, I'm not going to say what the outcome is going to be because I don't know. There are a lot of people, a lot of fighters that are good at that, between that 154 and that 168. We talked about it last week, that got skills, got abilities, and any of those matchups would be a worthwhile matchup to see.
Well, Kenny, I think what the caller is saying is he going to fight what the WBA or whoever the WBA mandates him to fight? Or is he going to go another direction? And truthfully, we don't know. But the tendencies nowadays is that irrespective of who the mandatory and all of that stuff is, it's who coming with the biggest amount of money. That seems to be the tendency nowadays about fighters. They don't really care about, I got to fight this mandatory or that one over there. They're going to fight the fight that's most economical in their favor. And so we don't know if Boots is going to do that this time around. Okay, it's not. It's. We don't know what he's going to do. But while we're talking about Boots, let's do this. His fight against Lima was emphatic. The boy made an emphatic statement in that fight. And the thing that stands out to me is that Eddie Hearn, who I believe is his promoter, and he's saying that Boots is the new face of boxing. He's the best thing out there. And I'm curious that if Eddie Hearn really believes that Boots is the new face of boxing, that he is the most dominant guy out there, then as a promoter, why didn't he put Ennis in with Ortiz? Because Ortiz is the better opponent by what most people are saying. Okay. And if he thought that, and Hearn has said that, he thinks that Ortiz is he says Ortiz style is made for Boots. Well, if he's saying all of that and you believe all of that, then why, as a promoter, would you not match Boots against Ortiz as opposed to matching him against the guy that most people thought was the weakest opponent, Lima? So that's a question that's out there. If you feel that he was the face of boxing and that he Ortiz was the best opponent and has a style out there that's best for him, why didn't you, as a promoter, then make that fight as opposed to making a fight against someone who even you, as the promoter, felt that was a weaker opponent for Boots? And I think the fact that the way that the fight went proved that Lima was the weakest opponent, because the Ennis emphatically answered the question in that fight of who was the better fighter. The lines are open. You can call in now and join us. The link is in the description below. Eddie Hearn didn't make the fight the same. Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. But, people talk about fighters today not fighting the fighters that they should fight. Most of the time, I think the fighters, it's not about the fighters. The fighters want to fight the best, but the promoters don't make the fights. They don't make the fights. Now, I believe that Ortiz is scheduled to fight. Lubin. I believe that's true. That Ortiz is supposed to be fighting fighting Erickson Lubin, and that in itself is not going to be that's not going to be an easy fight. Lubin is Lubin is a difficult fighter. He's a tough fighter, and so if Ortiz, who has a great resume, he's 7-time amateur champion, Ring Magazine Prospect of the Year back in 2019. Most people believe that the most competitive fight for Boots would be against Ortiz. And what we all can hope for is that Ortiz is victorious in his fight against Erickson Lubin. And like I said, I don't think that's going to be an easy fight. I really don't, because I've done Lubin. I've watched him do fight. I think he gave Fondura one hell of a scare when they fought. And Fondura's in that 154 pound class. So it's going to be interesting. The question would be, if in fact Ortiz wins that fight, is Hearn then going to make the fight between Boots and Ortiz? That's really what it's all about. You know, that's really what it's all about. I agree with you, Uncle. He is not Madrimov. He has a high IQ, good footwork. Well, that fight, Madrimov, and I think the thing that most people talk about out there, that the common opponent, Madrimov, fought Crawford, and a lot of people thought that that wasn't the best out there that Crawford fought, and I think that Ortiz had a difficult time catching up with the Madrimov, but if they both fought, I think that Boots, if Boots fights, if he fights this guy, I think that it's going to be an interesting fight. Now, the question is, who is out there for Boots to fight? And there's what Boots has said, that his goal is to become the undisputed 154-pound champion. That's what he wants to do. The reason why he moved up to 154 in the first place was because he couldn't make 147 as easily as he had done in the past, and therefore his goal of cleaning out that division wasn't going to be achievable, because he was having a lot of difficulty making the weight. That's why he moved up to 154. But now he feels comfortable at 154, and so he wants to be undisputed at 154. The question is, who in the 154-pound class and the other champions would give him the most difficult fight. Well, there's a lot of guys out there in that 150, a lot of good guys out there in that 154-pound class. Now, you have Fundora, who's in the 154-pound class. I believe he's the WBC. And Fundora is going to be a tough out for anybody because at 6'4", he will have height and reach. He will have the height and reach over anybody in that class. He's going to have the height and reach over anybody in the 154-pound class. Okay? And he is not one that backs away from fights. Okay? So if they do fight, he'll have the height and reach advantage. He's not one that's going to back away. He's a guy that wants to fight you. So that would be an interesting fight, a very interesting fight between Boots and Fundora. Like I said, Fundora has a willingness to engage, and so he's not going to be running away from nobody. Unfortunately, that fight going to have to wait a while because Fundora, who was scheduled to fight Thurman the 25th of October, injured his hand, and so it's going to be a while before he can fight anybody. But when the question out there would be, if he wants to clean out the 154-pound class, then how would that match come out? And I think that Boots against Fundora, I think is a winnable fight. And I think it's winnable because Boots, given his good footwork, his ability to switch stances, and he's a very strong body puncher, which would probably work quite well when you're fighting someone that's tall, as Fundora is. I think that would be a good fight, but I think it'd be a winnable fight. Definitely would be a winnable fight for Boots at that weight. Now, the other person that's out there is Jermell Charlo. How would Boots do against Boots? How would Boots do against Charlo, who also is in that 150-pound equation? And I think that's also a winnable fight for Boots because if Charlo tried to fight Boots the way he did versus Canelo, it would be a short night. Charlo would have to start early and powerfully and be able to effectively move laterally in order to give himself the best chance against Boots. But Boots, in that fight, I believe, can effectively counter all of that. And, Boots is a fighter that's going to come into the ring with the mindset of seeking and destroying. And Charlo has not reflected that he wants to engage that much in those fights. And if he tried to fight Boots the way he fought Canelo, then all you have to do is look at the fight that Crawford fought against Canelo, and if you think that Boots is a mirror image of Crawford, then that speaks volumes about why I believe that Boots against Charlo would be a very winnable fight for Boots. Now, the other guy out there that they think, I think he's one of the 154-pound champions, is a guy by the name of Xander Zayas. And Xander Zayas, and I've been watching him since he was a young kid, 16 years old. He is a proud Puerto Rican kid, good talent. But for me, I don't think that Xander Zayas at this point in his career is seasoned enough to be a serious opponent against Boots. So now the question is, who do you think would be the most viable, strongest challenge to Boots other than Ortiz? Okay. And for me, that person would be that IBF champion, Bakram Matazelov. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He's tall. He's fought a hell of a fight against Tim Tszyu. And I think that this guy, Bahram Matazelov, would be probably the toughest challenge for Boots because he is a tall, very strong, raw, difficult fighter, and with very good power, hell of a hooker, beat Tszyu rather decisively. So of all of the challenges out there, the potentials out there for Boots, I think that the two that would offer the biggest challenges to Boots would be Matazelov and, of course, Ortiz.
I'm back. And I got a comment here that said they thought I fell into the toilet. And I thought I fell into the toilet too, bro. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm cleaning myself up right now.
Yeah. I hear you. Kenny, what I've been talking about was drink more water. Yeah, I hear that. What I was talking about is that what I was responding to was that Boots has said that he wants to be undisputed 154 pounds. Okay. And there was 4 or 5 guys out there that we were trying to pick out who would be the most difficult person to fight Boots. And for me, I think that this guy Bakram Matazelov, he's the IBF champion. I think he will be the most difficult challenger for Boots because, like I said, he's tall, he's raw, very, very strong, very strong. Look extraordinarily strong and good against Tim Tszyu. And Tim Tszyu is not, was a pretty good little fighter. Okay. Yeah. So I think that he, and obviously Ortiz, it was the one that his promoter and that Boots himself has said that's who he wants to fight. He wants Ortiz. So those two, I think, would be the best opponents for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and in that particular class, Ortiz, we got Jamil Charlo, I can say now that the uh, I favor the twins because I'm a twin,
Yeah.
and and when they they entered the scene both undefeated. Uh, I actually refereed one of the twins. I can't even remember now. Being a twin myself, if it was Jamil, I think it was Jamal,
Mhm.
but they have talent.
Mhm.
And uh, matter of fact, that crew of 154, all of them have talent. I
Mhm.
I personally think all of them would be a good matchup. I think that it would be uh, interesting, competitive. Um, with one fair over the other against Boots, who knows?
Well,
But
Kenny, I hear you, but and you and I agree a lot, but uh, I just think that of all of the guys that are in that class, I think that Charlo is probably the weakest.
okay,
And I say that because I've watched him when he fought against Canelo. And what I saw in that fight was uh, a fighter who was reluctant to engage.
you're
Uh,
right.
and he didn't want, it looked like he didn't really want to fight. He just wanted to survive. And
Yeah,
that is not going to work against Boots.
yeah,
But Boots he comes out the gate to beat you up. And
yes,
Charlo, I think of all of the guys in this class, for me, Charlo is the weakest.
yeah,
Uh, Simply because, like I said, he 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 doesn't he doesn't show me at this point in time that he has the fire that will be necessary to fight someone like Boots.
yeah. Rightfully said. And you know me, I like to give everybody a chance. Uh, uh, no one would have guessed that when Buster Douglas climbed in the ring against Mike Tyson, as opposed to his previous fights,
Mm-hmm.
that he was going to rise to the occasion and do what he did against Mike Tyson in Japan.
Yeah, but
And
but Kenny, you know what? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I agree with you to this extent, but and I happen to know a little bit. I got a little inside info on that. But the bottom
uh,
line is, when you're fighting someone, not only that's in your class to fight, but who has uh, other inspiration.
yeah,
Sometimes that can be the big difference in the fight. And in that fight, Douglas is, I think his mother had just passed, and he was dedicating
yes,
the fight to his mother. And
yes,
sometimes when you get a fighter that is that inspired, it can make all the difference in the world. And I
yeah,
think it did make a difference in that fight.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
We
yeah.
have a call on that. Chibud from Matchroom Golden Boy. He wants to know about Ennis versus Ortiz. What do you think?
Well, was that a caller we were expecting, or was that just someone sending in uh,
It's a
a
comment.
chat, a
It's a chat.
comment?
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Okay,
comment. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We got all these matchups, all these possible matchups, and Boots looks great now, and the way Boots look, it's gonna. I mean, he's on a pedestal that continues to climb.
Yeah.
What I say, you must obey.
And it looks like now I do got a caller coming
There you
in.
go.
So caller, Let me hear you. Let me hear you.
Bir de seni hep yanımda hissettiğini. Ama tabii ben detaylarını tam hatırlamıyorum.
Bu mektup sana nasıl ulaştı? Nereden buldun sen o mektubu?
Could you make that out, Bird? I couldn't make that
No,
out.
you're breaking up, caller. Can you maybe move to a different location where you can come through a little clearer?
Caller? Okay, well, I'm going to go to this quick chat here, and this quick chat is saying that Charlo, and apparently they somewhat agree with me, that is not the weakest, but at the same time, the caller says that, like you said, Bird, is that he does lack the heart, and I don't know if you can look at one fight and determine that this fighter, well, he didn't appear to lack the heart in the Charlo fight, but can he step his game up would be the big question mark.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Jamal, I don't know what weight Jamal is fighting at now, because we haven't seen neither one of the twins fight lately.
Right.
I don't know, because Jamal fights at the next weight class up.
Yeah,
So
160.
at 160. So
Yeah.
I'm sure if he was interested, he could drop 5 pounds and get in this mix of 154s to fight Boots as well.
Yeah. But like I said, the one thing that's really good is that there's no shortage of viable opponents for
That's
Boots.
right.
I mean,
That's
you
right.
have these 5 guys in this weight class, 4 champions, okay, and all of them are viable. They're viable candidates.
Right.
Like I said, the one I believe that would be the strongest, the 2 that I believe are the strongest are Matazadov and of course Ortiz. Yeah.
We're still getting some chats coming through. Callers, we'd like to talk to you if you have the time to give us a call so that we can chat it up a little bit. Because that's a very interesting. We've been seeing it 154 to 168. It's the division now.
Yeah, a lot of dynamite.
A lot of, and we're not forgetting about the welterweights either. We got it. Again, the thing for me with the twins is that the last time we saw Jamal was when he fought Canelo, and that's what, a couple years ago. A couple years ago.
And this little kid, the kid that a lot of people were pointing to, and frankly, I think he is a good talent. We've been watching him since he was 16 years old. Isaias, the little Puerto Rican kid.
Yes.
Fought a couple of times when we were in the bubble. And he's a good, solid kid. But my opinion is that he's just not seasoned enough at this point in time for someone like Boots.
Yeah.
He's not a serious contender for Boots. He's just not seasoned enough for me at this point in time.
Yeah.
Good solid fighter. Good solid fighter. But not seasoned enough.
Yeah.
You know,
Kind of like when Canelo fought Mayweather.
Yes.
He came in just a little too soon.
Mm-hmm.
They probably could have waited maybe 2 or 3 more years to let Canelo get a little bit more defined before they matched him up with Mayweather.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, he's got talent.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's got talent.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, what takes you to that next level is the type of opponents that you fight. If you're starting to fight stiffer and better opponents, which was something that was done quite often back in the 60s and the 70s, there was a stepping ladder that you made your move on, as opposed to who you would fight next. And if you successfully took those steps victorious, then that was mentally preparing you for what was down the road. And that's probably where Zayas needs to be. Fight a few more good ones.
Yeah. And a lot of times, that fights like that can prepare. I know it did. It worked wonders for Canelo, because if anybody who watched the Mayweather Canelo fight and then watched Canelo subsequent to that fight could see all the stuff that Canelo learned in that fight, because he became a much better fighter after that fight. And a lot of the stuff that Floyd did to him, he began to do to others. After that. So he learned from that fight, which is what a good fighter does.
Exactly.
You learn from your loss.
You learn from your loss, and those losses are the mistakes that you made, and that's life. And in life, you learn from your mistakes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I hope we answered. There were a couple of chats that came up and kind of disappeared before I can lock in on it. So callers, I apologize, especially for the internet failure. It's kind of got me off my game. But look like there's another one coming in. Bird gave old boy a time in Germany. Then Whip Zuno told Lupin he wasn't lucrative enough. Now Lupin has Ortiz and and Barkham knows who to call out. Yeah.
Well, the bottom line, I'm gonna tell you something. Lubin is a challenge for anybody.
Okay.
Erickson Lubin is a challenge for anyone. And that's who Ortiz is I think, is scheduled to fight next. Is Erickson Lubin.
Right.
And Lubin is a tough out, And he gave Fundora everything that Fundora thought he might want. He dropped Fundora. And so he's not. That's not an easy out,
Right.
But Ortiz should be talented enough to make this a competitive fight.
To make it competitive.
But I don't know that he is going to be good enough to actually beat Ortiz, especially with what's down the road. Right. But it looks like we've run out of time. We want to thank everyone out there who's been watching the show. Thank you so much for watching the official call today. And Remember, we go live every Monday, and we want you to definitely stay with us and make those calls. Let us know what your concerns and your questions are, and we're going to do our level best to share our time and experience with you.
Ditto. I ditto that. And as we sign out, as always, what I say, you must obey.
Well, okay, let's do this.